little bit sentimental after Joe and I started out with our law firm back around 1972. So this is what 38 years ago. So it's saying something about my age and a little bit about thinking back of the years we spent together. So it's sentimental, I think, is really exactly what I'm thinking about right now. I do have, in a sort of a, I guess I'd say maybe a little bit of a sad moment, remember sitting in his hotel room the night the results came back for Congress with Larry DeNardis, where Joe lost. That's the one memory that sort of sticks in my mind, is it just wasn't something that was supposed to happen, and he didn't lose elections. But then following that, I guess 2 years later, when he became Attorney General and won that election, he was back on the winning side, and that was sort of an exciting thing, particularly in light of his last loss. And then for the Senate, just more of the same, but a higher office. It was exciting to watch him and watch the family, everybody grow together, his children, his grandchildren, his new wife Hadassah, just to watch his life move on from somebody who was watching it pretty closely, and then culminating really in today's speech that part of his life is now going to be over in another 2 years.
Joe was always the center of attention of my family. So his popularity was from way back when. Every time we had a family event, when I was a little girl, everyone would gather around Joe, and there was a little age difference between Joe and I, so I didn't really get to know him well until I was older.
And your relationship is, again, a cousin?
Yeah, my mother and Joe were first cousins. My grandmother, Frances, and Joe's mother, Marcia, were sisters.
Joe's just always been a guy of honor, trustworthy, decent human being. In politics aside, he's always been a man good for his word, man of principle, man of dignity and decency. And that's how we...
He's got a lot of grandchildren now. His daughter Hani is about to have a baby, and any minute now, basically. and he probably wants to spend more time with his family. Actually, when we were upstairs before, one of the grandchildren was complaining that every time he wants to spend time with Joe, someone else wants to come and shake his hand. And I have a feeling that Joe would like to spend that time with his grandchildren without people coming up and having to shake his hand every minute.